Welcome to the Setbreaker podcast. And today we have a very special guest. We have Chris Alvarado, actor, improviser. He has a podcast called Alchemy This. And he taught me improv multiple times.
And we're friends.
We're friends.
Friends. Because we crossed that line of like teacher-student when I saw you on stage when you were first trying stand up. And
that crossed that?
Well, for me, then I became like a fan. I was like rooting for you. I wanted more for you.
Yeah.
Did you get that feeling from me?
I did.
I always wanted you to like not doubt yourself, go out there and try stuff, which still sounds like teacher stuff, but I don't do that to every one of my students is my point.
Yeah. No, I appreciated that because I was like, why am I fucking doing this shit?
Yeah. You love it.
I do. It's fucked up. You know that girlfriend I had? We're not together because of that.
She was nice.
She was nice, but
yeah.
You know, it's just things happen.
Yeah. I've heard that before. I've heard like life is like a 4-stove burner, and one burner is career, one's family, one's friends, and one is health. And depending on what you want most, you turn that flame up.
Yeah.
The other flames will go down.
That's what it feels like. And for me, it's just the career thing is so high. I think I lost like 90, 95% of my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, doing this, I found out they weren't even really my friends to begin with.
Yeah, you find that out too. But
yeah.
I'm older than you, and I've been doing this longer than you. I'm not a stand-up, but like I start to question now in my older age, like what is actually important. And when I see the hustle of the young guy, or I see that burner being turned, or losing friends, I have to ask myself if it's worth it. Listen, 5 years ago, I was like, yeah, worth it. Fucking, let's get a tattoo right here. Fucking comedy. Let's go.
Yeah.
I don't know if I feel that way anymore.
You like for bleeding and dying for it?
Yeah, that's what I used to think that was the way to do it. It was that or nothing. And I don't know if I feel that way anymore. Do you feel that way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes and no. Like a part of me feels like I want... Deep down inside, I do want a relationship. Okay?
Yeah.
But I'm so... There was a girl I met recently. And I've been single for like 2 years, right? And I've been dating girls. But then this girl recently, I felt this... My heart was like, I want to be around you. And I got scared. And I was like, you're going to ruin everything for me. I was like, you are going to ruin my life because I'm going to think about you either as much as my shit or more. And I don't like that. So that's why I am pushing her away.
Dude, there's this movie called Whiplash. It was like a kind of like an indie film, and it won at like Sundance years ago about a drummer at a drum school, and it's like a famous scene like this. The actor J.K. Simmons like yells at these people, and the kid's drumming, and he's like bleeding. Right, his hands are all fucking bloody. But there's a scene he has with a girl, and he tells the girl, "I like you so much, and because of that, that means you're going to take up my time that I do not want to take away from being drumming, because I don't want to just be good at drumming, great at drumming. I want to be one of the greats of all time. And I'm going to break my own heart right now and make this sacrifice and say, you're gone," to the girl.
Fuck.
You know, to choose that. I know, dude. I know.
Almost goosebumps.
Almost, dude. I mean,
it's hot right now.
Yeah, it's hot. So it's like, if it was a little cooler. I mean, that's crazy. And like there's a part of me, like I said, that's like, that's the right move. Let's go, your art or die. But then there's the other part of me that's I'm like, nah, I don't know. Having a partner is beautiful. Fucking walking in a park is nice.
Dude, I was just walking before you got here. I was walking in the neighborhood. I'm like, damn, dude, the sidewalk is cool. You know, just like walking by myself.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. And so, to me, I keep saying at my age, but let's be honest. I mean, I've been doing improv and acting for over 20 years, right? So I'm not like an old man, but I haven't just started. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's about like giving up on my dreams or my drive, but I think it's about like finding out what makes me a fuller and happier person. And that involves relationships, and that involves friends, and going fucking hiking and not just working on my craft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then going hiking and being super present, not thinking about, there's a character. Oh, I just thought of a character. I can't wait to bring this, you know?
Isn't that weird? Isn't that kind of hard to do?
Yeah.
When I'll be with my dad or something hanging out, and then I'm like, oh, this is great. And then this like joke or this premise or this idea.
Dude.
And I'm like, pull it back. Let's come back here. It's fucking crazy.
It's 24/7. Do you know how many times I almost crashed on a freeway? Because I'm not even kidding. I have the little the cell phone on the car mount thing, and then I'm like, oh, I have to write this down because I'm gonna forget the premise. So then I'll go to my note in my cell phone and I'll type it as I'm driving, going like 80 miles an hour. And there was one time I was 3 inches from crashing into this car. I braked so hard, it was like smoke was coming up. I almost fucking destroyed this because I was like, I have to. I literally, I value and prioritize joke premises more than my fucking life. That's insane.
And let's talk about that.
Yeah.
One, I think it might be like your personal drive and passion. But two, I feel like the industry has told us like, oh, you want to compete? Oh, you want to join?
Yeah.
You want to be heard? You want the big shows? This is the way you have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's all of our choice. I'm saying us, but I don't think it's all your choice. I think the industry is telling you this is the way you've got to do it. Podcast after podcast after podcast, you hear everybody saying that. Oh, I'll be at dinner with my wife and I'll get up and leave the room to go write that joke. I'll wake up in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., write that joke down. So we start to go, oh, that must be like the way the process works then. Like you got to fucking dedicate yourself. I don't know, dog. I don't know. And I'm being honest, I don't know. I question it. I question if that's the way. I'm also not wildly successful. And I'm also not a stand-up. So, maybe that has to be, but I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been seeking joy in like the little ways that you've been talking about. I haven't been doing this shit that long. It's only like a few years. But before you got here too, I was on that couch just breathing deeply and then just trying to feel what I feel, because as a stand-up, everything you do is through the lens of jokes, and then if you're not careful and if you don't check in on yourself, you don't know, you'll realize too late, like, oh my god, I don't feel good. So I've been getting better at that.
Good.
But I will say this though, there are things I've learned on this journey. Is like, before I had envy. Like, for instance, like when I first saw you, I didn't like you because you were too handsome. Because I was insecure at that time. So anybody that was like really handsome, I didn't like that shit. And you were tall, and I was like trying to find out there's something wrong with him. Yeah. But there was nothing wrong with you. I hated that you were so nice too. I was like, fuck, and I was like, he's so fucking nice. What the fuck? Yeah. But that's before like taking classes with you and getting to know you. Like initially, I know you've met guys who are like feel inferior.
I've heard of that a lot.
Yeah.
But we all know the secret, right? Is that I feel equally inferior, if not more, constantly, and that therein lies the fucking complexities of human nature. Yeah. Where like, I know what you mean. I'm like cute enough and tall guy. I get that on like a surface level or like a literal level. I understand you, but my self-worth issues and my wildly deep insecurities are so powerful. They're much more powerful than how good my hair might be. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I have met a lot of people in my life who said what you said, who are now good friends, who say, I used to not like you when I first saw you. That's an interesting thing for me, because I'm like, I'm so fucking lost in my own shit, so lost in my own fucking trauma and my own everything, that like, there's little room for ego. And if there is ever ego, it's because I'm hurting even more, right? If I'm ever like, fuck this dude, or fuck this show, or I'm the best here, it's like, so you're at your worst. Right? Yeah. Oh, cool. So the more you're fucking peacocking around this theater or this show, great. So that means you're not doing well. And that's the way I equate that.
Dude, I do the same thing too. Because when I want people to lose, that's when I finally figured it out too. That's where I train myself to think, okay, you're not in a good place. Yep. Did you sleep enough? Did you eat enough? Yep. Is there something else going on? Is it because you got rejected by that one girl? So now you're just trying to like keep your ego alive, for this like false confidence, right? But like I literally have this thing in my phone where I'll read it to you.
Yeah.
And this has changed my life. And I genuinely believe this now, but I had to train myself.
Sure.
So it says, wishing for others to win is the best way to win yourself. Airplanes love to come at the most deepest moments. All right. Thanks. Anyways, wishing for others to win is the best way to win yourself. Read that 1,000 times over until those words are permanently ingrained in your brain. This is some other guy said this. Yeah. This is something I've been saying for years, but very few people seem to get it. What you wish on others, you wish on yourself. That's how the universe works. So do you actually want others to win? Not just in your words, but in your heart? Because once you do, your entire life will change. And literally, I started going around just saying like, I want them to win. I want them to win. As soon as it felt like a slight ping of envy, just a little bit, I'd just be like, no, that's you, just some insecure bullshit. Just be like, no, like they're cool. Just we can all win together. And ever since like I like genuinely believe that now, like people have been coming into my life, I've been happier.
Yep.
You know, I'm more present. And it's great. Now, I'm still going to feel envy from here and there, but I recover from it much more quickly because I know it's not them, it's me.
Dude, that makes me so happy to hear that.
Yeah.
That you're actively doing that. And it is actively, right? It's not just like, I'll choose to be happy. No. It's reading shit like that over and over. It's taking that moment on the couch to fucking breathe and center yourself, right? Yeah. This is an actual fucking work we have to do. And it makes me really happy to know that you're doing that. That's because, like, I'm a fucking professional hater, dude. Professional, dog.
Really?
You know what I mean? I mean, I used to be. I would fucking roll my eyes at everybody doing all this shit forever, critique it all, shit on it all, and then a fucking 10 years goes by and I haven't made shit, but my eyes are rolling hard. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this fucking guy. All right, cool, dude. And then what am I doing? Nothing. So I just love that. I love what you're saying, dude. I love what you're saying. Like I said, the way we started this podcast off is that I'm always rooting for you in particular. I mean, people in my life, but like so it makes me happy to know that you're also doing that type of work. Because I don't want you to be a thin, angry shell who's got fire jokes. That's not enough, dog. Yeah. That's not enough.
That's miserable.
That's miserable. Yeah, that's good, dude. Now, are you finding that? Are you finding it hard to blend the hustle and the grind with this kind of positivity, or is it been okay?
That's a great question. I want this to be your podcast instead. You're so good at asking questions. What the fuck? I'm like, you got to work on this, Michael. You suck, dude. It's good now.
It is.
First year was through pure rage and hatred.
Yeah.
Do you know what I would say to myself? Yeah. This can sound crazy, but like, so before, I don't know if we talked about this, but like I was gonna hang myself before I started doing stand up. Like 2 months before that, 3 months, like I was planning to like hang myself. Yeah, because I was so miserable. And then improv was the only thing that kept me alive. And then I was like, dude, I gotta figure it out. So then I started doing stand up. And then people were so mean to me in LA because I don't know about the Orange County scene because they were nice. I mean, I have friends in LA now, but I was just like, you know what? You're not gonna fucking and that also had to do with my own like insecurity and like just feeling like, you know, like not acknowledged and recognized. I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna make you fucking acknowledge and I'm gonna get so fucking good. I'll show you. So I had 300 open mics that first year.
Wow.
And I was doing background acting. I was working 12 to 14 hours on certain days. Well, 10 to some days. Granted, like maybe I'll get off after 8 hours. But a lot of the times it was like 10 hours. I go off for 3.5 hours of sleep, and I'd fucking still hit the mics. And I'd be like, are you fucking bitch? Like yelling. I'm like, are you fucking pussy? Huh? Are you fucking bitch? You might as well fucking kill yourself, you little bitch. I'll talk to myself like I scream like, you fucking bitch. And I'd get there and I'd be in the car and I'd be like, what jokes am I gonna do?
Wow.
Yeah. So it went from that, and then during lockdown is when I worked on a lot of my like issues because I had nothing. We couldn't hang out.
Yeah.
I didn't have a girl. I got dumped 3 months before fucking March of the lockdown.
Yeah.
So I was using stand up to escape. And I make jokes like, oh, you know, she did this. Blah, blah, blah. And then I'm sitting there, and after like a couple days, I had the height of lockdown. I had the worst anxiety I ever felt in my life for 3 full days. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah.
Because it all hit me at once. Of course. And then I figured out, oh my God, it was me. It was me. And then I figured out a bunch of stuff about like me, you know, why I got into it. Like I didn't even really I got into the relationship because like I wanted validation of like I wanted people to look at me as, oh, it's an Asian guy who can get a hot Mexican girl who looks white, you know, like he's just like a lot of to fix insecurity stuff. And then, you know, then after that, then I got a following on the social media thing, and that came from because I started, because when dude, as an open micer, you're not gonna get many shows.
No,
like you're not gonna get shit. But then I was able to bypass the gatekeepers by putting out throwaway jokes. And some of them would go viral, like hundreds of thousands. And I had people, like thousands and thousands of people, like saying, like validating me and saying, this is funny. So that gave me my own self-worth to where I don't have to bank on these other people that are my peers.
Yep.
And then from that to like, you know, but then that blew my ego up at the same time.
Of course.
And it went from that to just even more self-doubt.
Sure.
I was like, I lost 300 followers. I'm a fucking loser. They
Right,
hate me.
right.
It's because I'm not funny. It's because it's that. And I went through this whole thing all during lockdown. And then things opened up again. And then start being around the people. And then there was like this camaraderie we had of just, dude, we haven't seen each other. It was a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Of just, we're all human. And this fucking sucked. And I miss you. You just, not even like you specifically, but I just miss you.
The you. Yeah.
The you. And that's when things I started to figure it out, because I think it humanized a lot of us through that absence of, you know, just the world. Yeah.
Dude, let me ask you a question for maybe people who are just starting stand up. I mean, I feel like this is like, it's prevalent in like athletics as well. I don't know, I guess the best of anything, but like that moment when you're screaming at yourself, being like, what are you, a fucking bitch? Like I've also used to use that as my motivation. What do you think that's, because we see the videos, we see the stuff, the people pumping themselves up or shit, like that's not an uncommon way to treat yourself, especially in this industry. Do you think that's the way you would want to mentor somebody? Like how would you change? Because obviously it's a lot of negative.
Yeah.
There is a little bit of a positive that it does get you up, right? It does get you driving there, and it does get you to that mic when you might not want to go otherwise. So it's not just like, that's bad, moving on. No, it's like, I understand the merits of that kind of, let's go. It's that fucking David Goggins mentality, right? That fucking, you know, fucking kill the inner bitch, fucking Rogan shit, right?
Yeah.
But how would you mentor somebody who's like, hey, I'm trying to mic and I'm trying mics and I keep beating myself up, or I'm telling myself I'm a bitch? would you go like, that's the way to be, that's the way to do it? Or is there a different approach?
There's a different approach now, because now I do it out of fun and like love. But here's the thing. In the beginning, everybody the turnover rate is so high. That's why that's what I learned. People in the stand-up community don't really want to invest, because people come and go. Yeah. And that's why some of them were just being fucking assholes, but others were just like, you know, I don't really know you like that. Like, I don't know, you might be gone next month. So in the beginning, you need anything to kind of just keep you going past that hump, because me wanting to quit 24/7 every second of the day, I'm like, you left everything behind, your digital marketing job, you know, you moved back home with your mom and for this, and you're fucking not confident. What is this? Like, what this sucks dick. So for 4 or 5 months every day, I was just like, what the fuck are you doing? But then, you know, but I knew this with anything in life is, if you do something enough, something's got to give. So I knew eventually, and plus I kept listening to like all these, like, you know, the pro comics on YouTube just saying, yeah, just keep going. And I was like, okay,
sure,
that's
sure.
Then I guess it's got to be inevitable, right? So, yeah.
But here's what I think for you. You know, I see your stuff on like Facebook, pardon me, Instagram, whatever. I feel like you really tapped into a good place when you started to get personal and vulnerable, versus just like funny observation about people in the world. Like, I mean, that's fine. No disrespect if you're an observational comic, but like when you started to like crack shit open personally, then I'm like, I'm in. And you know me. That's the way I like to perform too. I like to get personal, vulnerable. Tell me about like that transit, or how you found that. Where'd you find that, you know, you'll say embarrassing things about yourself, or you'll do like sketches about like I saw the other day, like the friend who says he's a good fighter, but he doesn't actually step up, right?
Oh yeah.
We know those people. We've had conversations about the way we grew up a little bit, and like,
because that was me
fighting and stuff. Sure.
Yeah.
So, because that was me. So tell me about that. Tell me, like, how do you feel empowered enough to like show the vulnerability, and is it cathartic? Are you finding success in that? Does it feel good to put that work out? I want to know about the more real and honest stuff you do.
Yeah, you know what helped with that? The getting personal, the personal thing. That is what got people to follow me. That's what I realized.
Yep.
Because you're right. Like the observational stuff, yeah, there's truth in that. And they're like, oh, that's cool. But the really deep personal stuff that I thought people would judge me for and not like me for, that's what I learned by posting online is what made them like me. And that's what made it easier for me to bring to stage. Because again, I'm bypassing the gatekeepers by just saying, you know what? I'm afraid of this. So I'm just going to put it out there. It was like I would close my eyes and like I'm like, holding a gun and just shooting.
Yeah.
And then like, for instance, like, I'm sure you notice I'm fucking bald all the way now because I shave it like this. But here's the reason why. It's because I have some wrinkles here, but for 15 years I would hide it. That's why I always had a military haircut and I keep the top part longer because I knew there was some bumps, but in my mind it was like crazy.
Right.
So it was my biggest physical insecurity. So during the lockdown, I said, you know what, man, I'm just gonna put it on TikTok and have the world judge me. Because I'm walking in the market thinking, oh, look at this guy with the speed bumps on his head. His fucking Hot Wheels leading the way ass head. You know, like this fucking alien fucking foreskin. You know, I'm making things that right. And then I posted and I literally got like no bad. People were like, oh, natural waves. Do you look badass? It looks like you're a fighter. I don't know, just a bunch of.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is weird. So then I just kept putting out more insecurities or just like deep, honest truths. Like, you know, on the podcast, I released a clip of like me in high school trying to suck my own dick when I was a virgin. Yeah. Because I heard Marilyn Manson did it, right? So I was like, maybe I can do that because I'm a fucking virgin. No girl touches me. So, you know, and then I was kind of worried to post out, but I said, you know what? Let me put it out there. And every time I do that, I get more and more confident in life. And then I can bring. I don't talk about that specifically on stage, but then it just makes it so easy to just talk about anything because I put it out there intentionally for people to judge me. And after that, because since I'm choosing to do that, what power do you have over me?
I mean, that's the fucking Eminem and 8 Mile shit, right?
100%.
That's it.
100%.
Let me start this battle off by shitting on everything you can shit on me.
Yes.
Okay, we done? Let's go. Ooh, I got the goosebumps. That's like, oh, fuck. Now you can't say anything. Mm-hmm. You know, but I'm so glad that that's working for you. But as just an audience member or a fan, to me, that's my favorite shit you do anyway. It's fucking... Because it's like funny, of course, but it's also kind of like heartening. God, I sound so woo-woo. I used to be such an angry person, everybody. It's so funny that I sound so woo-woo, but it's just true. I feel like your anecdotes and your stories and stuff are like, I don't know, kind of like heartening and humanizing, and it makes me like happy for you. So, and then it's not an accident that that's also where you're finding some success. And to me, that's a beautiful combination there of like, it's funny, it could be embarrassing, but it also like resonates and it fucking means something. What a combination. As opposed to just like Starbucks, blah, blah, blah. Again, no disrespect.
Yeah.
So
coffee drinkers.
Yeah. So I just really love that you found a combination that works for you, dude. And like, that's all I ever wanted for you. And I know you were battling through insecurities, as we all are, but I would see you like in person be frustrated with yourself and not confident in yourself. Meanwhile, what we see is crazy. You're fucking jacked. You're handsome. You're nice. You're smart. A lot of great fucking qualities, dude.
A lot of things that I don't see in myself.
Hey, I'm in the same boat, dude.
Yeah.
I don't see any of those things.
We're the same. We're very similar.
I don't see
I think that's why we resonated too, because I mean, I had massive anger issues too, but there was the first time I did stand up, I remember you're like, dude, that thing, because you do this thing, you're like, you know, like the cigarette thing, like, yeah, you talk about, you know, it's funny, because I would always think about that, like about the personal thing, because you said that the first mic I was doing, and then a few years later, then I would talk about it in videos, and those would get big. So I'm trying to figure out how to include that now with my stand up and all that. But you as an improviser, you're so fucking good. That's why I kept trying to take classes from you. Yeah. I kept repeating classes. Yeah. Spending a fucking bunch of money. Which was so worth it. Yeah. Because I attribute, me where I'm at with stand-up because of improv. Improv taught me to commit to the act. Okay, two big things. To commit to the act outs. So when I wouldn't believe myself, believe in like doing like this weird like, I would do like a Japanese porn act out. It's really fucking ridiculous. But I'd be like, don't judge it. Double down even harder.
Yeah.
So I learned that from improv, taking things with you too,
Yeah.
and then also not being like, because here's the problem when we do improv and we think of, oh, this is gonna be so funny. Even if 5 or 10 seconds pass, it's already too late and it doesn't make sense. Yeah. But the funny comes from when you're just being present and it just comes out because you're in their character, you're you, whatever that character is, right?
Yep.
So that's why I attribute so much of this, because improv shattered my ego.
Yeah.
You know what I'll tell myself every time before I did evening classes? Mm-hmm. I would say, I did 5 open mics in the past. Because the first time you saw me, that was me actually pursuing it. I did 5 in the past, so I don't like to count those because I wasn't really. But because of those 5, I was like, my ego said, dude, these guys didn't do it.
Wow.
So since they never did a fucking stand up before, I'm gonna crush it. And that was not the case. Every time I did a scene, I'm getting this, my ego's getting shattered. Every fucking time. Yeah, dude. So that helped in the process.
That's good, dude. Yeah. Fuck. I know. Listen, I've done 1 million shows, and the 500,000 shows I did where my ego was front and center, those are the worst shows, dude. Those are the worst shows. I'll show this audience. Or there'd be nights where I'd be like, I don't want them to laugh. I'm going to fucking shove my artsy content down their fucking throat. And it's like, what? They're just here to see a fucking goofball improv show, dog. But when I remove the ego too, be fucking present. How about have a little fun? Nobody ever... This can also be fun. It can tickle you. I thought it was like, fucking, let's go. Let's fucking bleed. Let's fucking hit all home runs. Every time I'm on stage, it's got to be a home run, home run, home run, home run. No time for exploration or organic figuring out. No. Let's go. That's exhausting, dude. And it doesn't even fucking feel good. It doesn't feel good. It puts you in a place where you're making moves, where you're stepping on your teammates and you're fucking up with the show just so you can get that moment. Forget it, dude.
That's so interesting because, improv, it's such a group-based thing, but hearing that is so interesting because I still didn't believe myself at all when I was doing improv, so I didn't have space to even have any level of confidence. But I'm really interested in that.
Well, I don't think it's that common. I mean, I don't think I'm the only person. I think a lot of people approach improvisation the way it's intended, which is a group mind experiment, and let's have fun with your partners and fellow friends, and let's build and explore. But back to what we were saying, I'm a fucking sick person, and I'm here to get mine, and I want to be famous. And so that would start to drive some of my moves. Not in the last few years. This is when I was a little bit younger, kind of coming up, it was all about me, which is who wants to be on a team with somebody it's all about them? Because listen, I always used to say this. I used to say stand up is to improv what skateboarding is to rollerblading, where stand up is a little cooler, a little harder, and improv is a little easier, and it's a group thing. Well, this is the way I used to see it, right?
Okay, it's not easier to me.
Well, because I can't go up on stage right now and do 5 minutes, but I alone.
I can't do what you do. Every time I would watch you, I was in awe. You were God to me when I'd watch you. I would just be studying you. I'm like, how the fuck does he do that shit?
I mean, well, let's be honest. It's the only thing I know. It's the only thing I know about. I don't know how to handle my finances. I don't know how to fucking my diet or my exercise or my everything else. I mean, I'm getting better. But improvisation is the only fucking thing I know everything about. So people are like, oh, that seems fun. I'm like, oh, it's not. I got 700 fucking options flying through my head in any given second, coming through the fucking matrix. Brrr, all these options. I choose this one for here. I plant this seed. Pay it off later. Oh, it's fucking hit. Alley-oop. No look. Slam dunk. Here we go. So in my classes, that's the way I taught. It wasn't and now we all clap together. No, I was let's go. This is boot camp. You want to be the best? Yeah. But I don't really feel that way anymore, dude.
Dude, but that's why I liked your classes, though. I preferred that.
Well, someone else said that to me recently. They said, I thought we were going to get the screamy Chris, the screamy teacher.
I wanted that.
I know. I know. And there was a time for that and a place for that. But I'm just not there anymore. You know why? Because I think so many of the rules of improv, I don't know if I can say comedy as a whole because I don't know stand-up or sketch that well, but improv, they're not real. They're not real. These rules aren't real. And somehow they've changed from like being guidelines to good scene work to being the absolute rules. And you pay this coach and this teacher to teach you how to do that. And you keep failing until you get it right. And I don't feel that way today. I think that's fucking garbage. I think it is about exploration. I think it's about being honest, being open, slowing the fuck down for a second, taking a moment, looking at your scene partner and saying, I'm in love with you. And fucking meaning it. That to me means way more than like, hey, I can sing a song about a hamburger. I don't give a shit about that. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm going nuts right now.
Fuck hamburgers.
Damn. My whole approach has changed, dude.
Wow.
Whole approach. And during the pandemic, I started teaching online on Zoom, right? 2 classes a week. And it was just like workshops, not classes. It's like, okay, hey, let's try to do improv here. And then I started leaning more and more into what I actually am being called to do, which is this more kind of dramatic, honest, raw improv. And now my classes are like every third scene, someone's crying, talking about abuse, falling in love, falling out of love. And when I watch a scene, I go, holy shit. Like, I give a fuck. I've watched thousands of shows, Mike. I've coached all the teams. I've taught all the classes. And I'm at a place now where I'm like, oh, I care. And to watch them open up too, not try to get something right or do their impression of what they think comedy should look like, but instead pump the fucking brakes, look at the person next to you or the monitor next, screen, and just like shut the fuck up for a second. Beautiful things are happening. And it can be funny. It's just not the goal anymore.
Now I'm flashing back to there was a thing you said that I never forgot when I did a class. You were like, that right there, that's you. It's okay if you go a few shades of a color away from it. I never forgot that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck, that's that thing, And then like I did a scene, I forgot what it was. I can't remember, but it had to do with what you're talking about. That was, just more serious between me and I forgot her name, but she was this like blonde lady. And like your approach, I think that was your shade at that moment in time.
I agree.
Like that, right?
I agree.
And now it's like pandemic was like, that is what.
Yes.
Yeah. Because the way you like see things, you're like Morpheus. Like,
yeah,
maybe.
maybe.
No, to me it's like that. You just did that, and then you can see past the facade of what people may be doing with who they think they are as they do improv, and it's like you see their soul. And because I was dude, I took in a couple classes with you. Like I watched how you coach, and it's like you see the raw truth of them inside,
which gets exhausting and is scary too, right?
Yeah. Because
it's not just like everybody line up, everybody do the thing, everybody sit down. It's like, how's Mike feeling right now? Why would he make that move? What's that saying about who he is tonight? How about this blonde lady? What's she overcoming here? How do we get rid of that? So it's like fucking exhausting. I mean, it's what I love to do, but talking 8, 9 students and kind of tapping into each of them. Where are they right now? How do they feel right now? How do we get them to feel better? It's fucking crazy. Let me say, I do want to say one thing. All this like fucking woo-woo talk. We're moving into the next step. And the next step is putting this on stage. I don't know if there's an audience for this. I don't know what's going to come of this. But kind of like what you were doing, like we said, putting out what's just honest. Obviously, your things were funny. But coming from a place of honesty, I'm like, I got to fucking try this. I got to put this up. I got to see what's going to happen with it. I'm not looking to become famous by any means, but like, if this feels so good to me, so right, and I've never seen it done, I got to fucking try it. It's scary though. Hey everybody, welcome to my improv show where we're not going to be funny. What? But we just saw the Goofball Brigade before you guys, and they were doing robots and ninjas. yeah, we're going to make this all up, but we might touch on issues that are personal to, you know what I mean? It's like, how do you sell that?
I just thought of something. Improv therapy. There's a thing that therapists make you do where, you know, maybe your dad passed away and you got to write a letter, or you read it to him and he's not there, like to a couch. It's kind of like that. There's a healing thing by people that are doing it. And then the raw truth of that, I can see people in the audience, they're watching it and they're being healed too, because a lot of people don't know exactly what it is or how to approach it. But sometimes watching people in front of you do it live is healing, because it's like, it's not just me, but this is a way to, you know what I mean?
100%.
That's what I'm seeing in my mind. I can really see this be like it's kind of like theater.
Well, that's what it is. I'm going to punch you right there, because I think that's what it is. I think I need to market these shows towards a theater goer, not because you're right. It is cathartic, and like people can get healed. I feel weird saying that, but you know, the emails after class are like, I was working on this, or I was going through this and this helped me. But you can't market it, right? Like, welcome to the improv therapy show. No one's going to that. No one's But an audience will go see a dramatic play or a musical or a Hamilton, or makes them think and cry and feel. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Anyway, I feel like I've said too much about my secret plans.
I can edit this out.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't think anyone's like, I'm going to do that. Cry on stage constantly.
Yes, and to trauma. That's great.
That's it.
I love it.
Yes, and to trauma.
Yes, and to trauma. That's a show. Yes, and to trauma.
I mean, how much of fucking comedy is trauma? How much of it is fucking working out trauma?
All of it. I mean,
all of it.
It comes. Why else do we go out of our way to try to, you know, make people laugh, make ourselves laugh, just feel good, be present? Because there was clearly things that we didn't get growing up, or things that happened to us that fucked us up.
Yep.
You know, so I mean, it's like, it's not.
Also, like, I'm getting tired of just saying those words. Like, I had a shitty childhood. Every podcast I've ever been on, I've said I've had a shitty. You know, it's like, okay, so what now?
Yeah.
So what do you want to do?
You're gonna play victim?
Let's go. Let's create with it. Let's let that be the fucking paints that we fucking make some work with. It's taken me, I was gonna say a long time, but I guess it's, everyone's journey is different. It's just taking me whatever to get to this point now where I feel not held back by my shitty childhood, but empowered by it. That all these specifics, dude, all these weird, embarrassing things, shameful things, horrible things, traumatic things have now become my gold. You know, like boom, boom, just stacking it all up. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Look at all this fucking gold I've got now, you know, as opposed to the shit that used to sink me.
Dude, I love that you said that, because that's how I feel now. Like, I've said this on the podcast before, but 3 months ago, my dad died 10 years ago. I was able to forgive him fully, finally, after 10 years at his grave. And that helped me with all my shit. Like, I was like, no, look, yeah, my dad may have hit my mom, hit me, and all that stuff, but like, I was like, there was good times in between that, but at the same time, because of that shit that I went through, I'm like, I'm impenetrable. What are you gonna say to me?
Really?
So I was like, thank you for that. Thank you for the, you know, the tough. It was like a boot camp for adulthood. That's why, like, people, when their sets don't go good after they bomb, they're like, oh, everything's fucked. I'll feel a little tiny bit, recover so fast. I'm like, dude, emotionally, I've gotten fucked so hard by life and my family and everything. I'm just like, my dad can't, you know. So I'm just, I see it as such a fucking a gift now.
A gift,
a gift that allows me to. That's why, because I had the lack of empathy and like connection to my all that stuff with my father, everybody. So like, that's why I have so much more empathy for people, and I love to connect. And these are the things that help me and continue to heal me, and I can give, and they give to me. It's just like a back and forth. Like what you said earlier with the improv. When you do improv, before, you know, there was times you'd say, oh yeah, I'll fucking show you, audience. Mm-hmm. But the times where it's the best, it's where, and that's what I thought for stand up too. Same thing. It's like, we're in this together.
Yes.
You're giving me something. I'm giving you something.
Yes.
Like, this is a dual partnership.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes. And it's alive right now in this moment.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't want to go down this road fully, but like, did that what did that feel like to forgive your dad after all this time?
After 10 years?
Was it freeing? Was it scary? Was it beautiful? Was it all of the above?
Actually, not even 10 years, because like, it was 30. Well, I just turned 32, but 31, right? So that's 30 plus years. But 10 years after his death and 30, it was just like,
Really?
like the first real true breath of air. Like,
Jesus, dude.
And all that weight just came off. I was no longer resentful to my mom.
Yeah.
That improved our relationship.
Yeah.
Like, just life.
Isn't that great?
It's beautiful.
That's beautiful. God, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and now I feel more prepared. I'm like, you know what? I think I can, all my relationships have been super unhealthy, but I'm like, I think, like the love I have for people, it's like I would have this block of just like, I don't want to fucking do this. Even my friends, I pulled back. I'm like, no, fuck you. No, fuck you. Like you're gonna hurt me. You're gonna hurt me. But I'm just like, dude, this is, I don't know. I feel like this weird particle connection, fucking like rubbing of.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's what I feel
it
like.
does make sense.
Yeah, but there's other days where I feel like shit. But,
Of course.
But then it doesn't last as long as it would before.
And that's the whole fucking thing. It's not just
Yeah.
like, and now I'm better. No. We're gonna have the ups and downs, but like, what a fucking major shift, dude. What a major shift for you. And just the idea that like, you can, without getting too deep, and I don't know your thoughts, but like, you can kind of like think about your pops without it being 100% negative. Sounds really nice to me that you could see that maybe there were some gifts, that maybe he had his own shit he was working through or dealing with. Like,
Yep.
humanizes him. I'm getting really emotional, and I'm not trying to do your work for you, but I just think that's such a beautiful fucking story. It's not. I mean, that's beautiful, dude. Now you don't have to walk around with that fucking shit anymore.
Yeah. But every time I would think of my dad before that, it would just like, I would just be like, it's your fault. It's because of this. Like, I could have been this person, that person. If you didn't tell me that I wouldn't make money being an artist when I was in preschool, I would be a great, because that happened. I remember he's like, what do you want to be when you're older? I was like, comic book artist. And he said, Micah, there's no money. You won't be able to survive. So ever since then, I felt so much guilt drawing. And they sent me to art school. It was like a sick fucking,
Oh, that is sick.
right?
Oh
Every time I
God.
drew, it just every stroke of
Yes.
the paintbrush is like, I hate myself.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, now when I think of him, it's like, it's not there. Like, it's weird. I spent 31 years of my life just thinking of how much he ruined me. How much, if it weren't for him, this would happen. But now it's so strange because it's not there. Mm-hmm. And it's not like a forced thing of, oh, look for the positive.
No.
It's like a legitimate, just because I truly forgave him. And like you said, humanized him. I'm like, dude, we're all in fucking pain, man.
We're all in pain.
We're all in fucking pain. And that is what connects all of us. There's two things that we all, the fact that we as humans all go through pain, and now we're going to die.
Yeah.
So what makes this person better than me or me better than them?
I
We're the
know.
same. That's what makes me feel so connected to the world and everybody, because of like pain. Now I'm not being like, oh yeah, you fucking, I don't know, you whatever, but it's just it's like, dude, that, right?
Well, that's the truth, right? So that's like the fucking core of it. And that's what connects us, right? This fucking Buddhist, life is suffering and shit. We're all fucking in pain. But then we start getting all the other add-ons. It's the fucking likes. It's the fucking Jordans. It's the fucking cars. It's the fucking stage. It's the fucking money. It's the fucking girls. It's the fucking thing.
Everybody, don't dare. It's the money. Fuck that. Live your life. Be real. Love your family. What's the deal?
Yeah, yes and baby, yes
That's
and.
it. That's
yes
fucking
and,
it.
dude. Fuck.
So all the fucking, we get inundated with all this shit, and then it comes down to taking the moment on that fucking couch. Take those fucking breaths, dude. Take those fucking breaths. Take those breaths. I have a fucking dog now. I never had a dog before. I mean, I've had.
Adorable dog, by the way.
Thank you. I've had dogs, but like not as an adult. Like this is my actual So we go on a lot of walks. I used to always listen to podcasts on my walks. Always, whenever. Now nothing, dude. Now it's just like just looking around, the fucking trees. Oh, that flower's coming in. You know what I mean? Dude. That
flower's coming in.
And it's like, woo. I mean, it's shocking. I'm from fucking Downey. Like I said, the childhood stuff and fights and drugs and alcohol. I'm sober. All the crazy highs and lows of my life. And then cut to a fucking Tuesday morning at fucking 8:30 a.m. with my fucking dog looking at a fucking flower. And I'm like, oh, this is it. So like, no, thank you, industry. You don't get to tell me when I'm happy and when I'm not happy anymore. No, thank you, industry. You don't get to make me feel like shit about myself anymore. No, you don't get to be the gatekeeper. No, you don't get to fucking say yes or no to me. I don't give a fuck about that anymore. And I don't mean that like angrily. I just don't. And I'm not fixed. Like you said, there's ebbs and flows. There's days where I'm stronger or weaker. But as a whole, I'm not looking to the fucking industry going, please, may I be happy? Will you validate me? Nah, dog. I got that fucking little flower. I got my little puppy. You know what I mean? I'm full.
It's so weird because I went through the same, because I like to go for walks and shit. I always had headphones on, you know? But lately it's been irritating me. So I would take it off, but I still would be like, no, you got to put it on.
I know. It feels weird, right?
Yeah. But then when you take it off and you hear like kids at a park, yeah. And then just like the wind blowing in your ear, and then you hear like the steps, and then it's so oddly comforting.
It's weird.
It's very fucking strange.
Especially because I used to use drugs and alcohol to like numb, to like calm.
Me too.
So it's weird that something like that you just said, it's oddly comforting. Like you go, this can't be as powerful as it feels right now. Like this is like, why does this feel so incredibly comfortable? Like that's crazy. Just because I can hear the kids laughing. Like I question it because I'm still kind of new to it, where I spent the majority of my life drinking. It's like, no, but you're right. It's like, I don't know, dude. And you talked about, I think it was during the pandemic where all this shit came crashing down on you. I had that same moment when I first got sober where I stopped like numbing myself. I thought at first, when you first stopped drinking, you're like, I feel better. Oh, cool. Oh, I lost some weight. Oh, I'm not as tired anymore. And then you're like, I guess I just figured it out. I'm a genius. And then you don't know this fucking tidal wave is behind you about to fucking crash in your head, you know? You're like, yeah, well, it's been 15 days. I guess I just don't drink anymore. I guess I'm just a mikekimcomedy. And everything you've been hiding and numbing and pushing down for your whole life fucking starts to come up and eat you and pull you and strangle you. That was a fucking wild time. I say all that to say, you're telling me there was a moment where I was newly divorced, fucking newly sober, living in a fucking apartment in West Hollywood where I thought, I guess I can't ever stand up ever again. I just can't get off the ground. To like today, the fucking walk to my little neighborhood does it for me. Thank you, whoever or whatever, because this is the place to be.
Yeah.
This is the place to be. For me.
No, because it's like the whole, on paper, this is what it is.
Yeah.
It's never what it is. It's never that.
Never.
You know? So I was actually thinking about you recently too, because I got fucked up 2 days in a row. Because I quit drinking for like the whole stand-up thing and all that, but like, I've been hanging out with more Koreans and like networking, and I felt like I had to drink. You know, Koreans get fucked up, and then so I started drinking again, and then I'm just like, even my friends were like, "You're drinking?" They were like, "Wait, you're drinking?" But to be honest, I don't really like it. I still don't really like it. But so I thought of you, and I remember, you said, you're sober now, but how long was that crazy drinking thing you went through, and then? What was the final thing that said, hey, I want to quit? And just that.
Yeah, it's pretty quick, actually. It stopped serving me. So, like, I got this stupid little journal. It's called a 5-minute journal. And you, like, fill in the blanks pretty much. It's like it's for adults, but it feels like it's for children. Today was good because, and you're like, coffee. You know what I mean? Like, I wish it, whatever. And so you just fill in this little thing. And this is when I was drinking. And again, like, newly divorced. I was like kind of dating a lot for the first time and like partying like a motherfucker and like just all the cocaine in Los Angeles. Just a really great time. But I started doing this journal, and there's this last part. It would say like, I wish I would have done this differently. And it has a blank line. And so one day I wrote like, oh, I wish I didn't drink so much last night or tonight. And then the next day I wrote, oh, I wish I didn't stay out so late tonight. The next day I was like, oh, I wish I didn't drink so much tonight. So I did it like, I don't know, a few days in a row. I picked it up one night to do my writing. And let's look back, like just the previous 5 days. And I was like, I felt like I was writing myself a message from the future. Like, or from the past, telling myself, I was like, wait, I'm saying to myself out loud, I don't want to keep drinking. Like the one thing I wish I had changed every day was that I didn't want to be drinking. I didn't actively know that as I walked around in my day. I go to my audition, go to a class. Hey, want to go grab some drinks? Go meet some girls? Cool. But when I wrote, every night I would write that down, which was so weird because I didn't know I was feeling that necessarily. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's just like I looked back and I was like, well, I'm telling myself I don't want to drink. So I was like, all right, let's do a 30-day no drinking. Kept writing. Next one was like, I wish I was working out. Next day, I wish I would have gone to the gym. Next day, I got to run. Hey, I should probably go to the gym. I keep telling myself I want to, okay, so I'm at the gym. Next thing, I want to write. I need to be writing more. I should be writing. So it just I was just like kind of writing what I wanted to, and then all of a sudden I was like, sober, fucking going to the gym, doing my writing. You know, like that's how it happened for me. It wasn't like a bottom. It happens to a lot of alcoholics or addicts, right? Like I was fucking drinking whiskey in my underwear. It wasn't that. It just like, I was like made a list of my fucking goals. I remember one night I made a list of the things I wanted to achieve. Then I made a list of things that I'm doing to achieve those goals. And then for shits and giggles, I was like, I want to make a list of things I'm actively doing to not achieve these goals. Dude, it was triple the length of the things I was doing.
Oh, shit.
It was like fucking partying every day, spending all my fucking money. Like, I mean, it was like insane. I was actively fighting against the fucking 3 or 4 things I wanted in my life. I was doing one thing a day to try to achieve it and fucking 9 to like against myself. So none of it is like, I'm not a fucking particularly smart guy. It was just like, I just started looking. I'm like, wait, I wrote this out. I can see the answers are here. And so I thought it was going to be a month and then 2 months. And now, I don't know, I think I'm at like 4.5 years. It's like, it just wasn't serving me. It wasn't serving me. Now here we are. I mean, my fiance drinks, my friends drink. I was still bartending at the West Side drinking. I don't have an issue with other people drinking. Just like, nah, it wasn't for me anymore. Because I was good at it, dude.
Yeah, black belt in drinking.
and I smoked, you know, I don't smoke anymore. So I was just like, fuck, I was the fucking, I had it down. Like in the drinks, the smoking, my shows, the little fucking blow here, little thing. Yeah. And yet underneath that, it was just fucking anxiety and fucking self-loathing and hatred and shit, you know?
So then when you quit all that stuff and then you got hit by that tidal wave of shit, then how'd you work through that?
Dude, I was like, I'm somebody, and I'm lucky, I never really struggled with like depression. I've been like sad in my life, of course, but I never felt an actual depression before, or at least I didn't know I hadn't until that tidal wave happened. And I was like just standing in the shower for like 3 hours, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm that guy in that movie who's doing that thing right now. You know what I mean? Like
that happened?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Like I was like seeing myself do the things that people in movies do when they're depressed, which was bizarre. I lived near Runyon Canyon, so I go for hikes. One day I was like talking to myself. I was like, am I talking to myself in public on a hike? What the fuck is going on? So I reached out to a friend of mine who is in a 12-step program, and they have a sponsor, and they're like, my sponsor will just talk to you for a second. And I talked to that sponsor, and they're like, oh, welcome to Sobriety. What you're feeling is all the trauma you haven't healed your entire life since you started drinking. That's your childhood, that's your divorce, that's your all those things. They are now upon you. So like, this is what it feels like. So let's fucking get you a game plan. How do we work through these things? Get to therapy, you know, all that shit. But dude, I was like one little like ladder rung at a time, like climbing out of this like fucking hole. I was shocked. And then finally I was like one day like, hello? I feel a little better. And then, okay, I feel a little better. And then, you know, being of service. My students are really important to me, right? Like I said, the individual attention. That fucking fills me up. That makes me feel good. That's all I got out of it.
Damn.
And you wonder why I don't want to do the funniest comedy. I don't know. But I feel good. Not always. Not 24/7. But I feel good. And when you were saying you've kind of started dating a little bit now and then, here or there, I was thinking too, like, the best thing I did for myself was take care of myself so I could be better for that person. Because I used to think love meant I slice my body open, I give you all my blood, and now you know I love you. I thought that's how you did it. Turns out if you do that, they're just left with a bag of bones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not there. So those little baby steps, it's shit we all know now, thank God, or a lot of us do. Maybe some of us need to hear or be reminded of it, but like taking for me, I didn't know that was allowed. Like to actively like make myself feel good. I didn't know that was allowed. So put together these little pieces, got a little stronger, looked over and saw who this woman who's now gonna be my wife, you know? I could show up for her and be like, hey, my name's Chris. I'm a flawed person, but for the most part, I'm building myself back up and I recognize my flaws. It's a fucking powerful place to be. Not like, yo, get into my fucking car that I bought after my divorce because I'm a piece of shit. Not that person. The other one who's like, yeah, I've been through some stuff. I wish I could have that drink with you because I bet it's not as fun for you, but this is who I am. And for her to be like, yeah, no, I like that.
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn. Love. Love is a thing still very foreign to me. Maybe there's things I got to rethink a little bit.
What do you think love? What does love mean to you? Or like, what's your? It sounds like you're in a complicated relationship with love.
Yes, very, very
Yeah.
complicated. Yeah, I don't know because I was the exact same way. Like I just thought if I just, sacrifice myself, it would mean something. But then you learn boundaries, and then because you learn boundaries, you get self-love. But then because of your fears of how your past relationships were, because every relationship I had was very unhealthy. I don't know. That's one part of me where I have a hard time being extremely vulnerable and allowing people to come in. Like there's still there's a lot of stuff that,
Do you love yourself?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, a lot. Yeah, now I do.
That's step. Yeah, that's step one. Yeah. I can see that you do. I can see it in your eyes, dude. I believe you. And so now, what does it look like for you to let like the other people in? And does this go for like just like people you want to like date or relationships? Does it go into friendships? Does it go into family? Is love complicated within all those arenas for you?
Mostly family and relationship.
Yeah.
Because the family stuff that the way I am with my friends, or the way I'm open with you, and like we have like, like that, I haven't done that. And also, the relationship thing. It's like I like control, and to me, the falling in love thing is lack thereof.
Yeah.
And I'm very afraid of that, but I also want that deeply.
Yeah. Dude, I'm just fucking spitballing here. I don't know that love is, I'll speak for myself. How about that? I used to think love was like some Shakespearean love. No control. Some fucking Moliere, right in the heart, come ruin or rapture. Oh, the love is in the stars and the explosions. I don't think it is that for me today. There is control. And like love to me now is my fiance being like, hey, this is how you balance your fucking checkbook. Do you know what I mean, dude?
Yeah.
This is what a boundary looks like. It's not the stars exploding. And there was a time in my life where I was like, if the stars don't explode, you're not in love. I don't want to talk about it. Some Romeo and Juliet shit. That's it. At my age now, I'm like, that's nice. We have wonderful moments, but like it's the day to day. It's the Tuesday afternoon grind and the Wednesday I'm running late and she's got to get the dog grind. How do we communicate and connect in those moments? Dude, I just started surfing. My fiance Jessica had a big photo shoot happening. I lost my fucking car key in the ocean. I'm in Venice. She's in Studio City. She doesn't have fucking time to get me, but also I'm going to be stranded like a homeless person in Venice. We figured out a way to eventually, like, she called a Lyft to pick up my spare from our house and drive it to me in Venice. All that to say, she's very frustrated with me and her. She had to like do a lot that day and stuff. But it's like, how do we navigate this moment? To me, that's like a lot of what love is. How do we navigate this shitty moment where I'm selfish and playing and I now have become a fucking nuisance? That's a big, because, there's a lot of, so I didn't have a phone. I had to borrow a phone. I didn't know her phone number. I just don't know it. But my point is, I had a little bit of time to think by myself about what was actually happening. Standing there in my fucking wetsuit, sweating in the Venice sun, being like, she could be really pissed at me if she wanted to be right now. I'm kind of fucking up her day. She really wasn't. She was annoyed and like logical and rational. And when I walked into the house, she goes, "You're in trouble." And I knew I wasn't because she said that. And I just really appreciated that. And that feels to me, it's equal or greater to than the stars exploding. Isn't that weird? Maybe because I didn't have a lot of structure growing up, perhaps, or like, but it just feels nice that I can be with a logical adult who loves me anyway, who's not going to hold that over my head. Just like, I was an idiot. And she's like, "You're an idiot." And then we just move on. I love those moments, dude. That it doesn't have to be a thing or like, this is where shit gets crazy. No, she's like, "You're an idiot." I'm like, "I'm an idiot." And she's like, "Cool. Hey, listen, so what are we doing for dinner tonight?"
That's fucking amazing. That's so great.
I watch her. She probably watches. I never really said this out loud, I don't think. But like, a moment will happen where she'll get frustrated with me or something will happen. And then this like child in me that's like, gets like scared. Like, are we going to fight? Is this going to be a thing? And then I'll like take a piss or something, come back out. And then she's like, "Hey, that show we want to watch is on." And I'm looking at her. I'm going like, did she already move past this? And she has, Mike. She's moved past it. She said the thing that she was frustrated about, whatever. I acknowledge that I heard it. And then she moves past it. It's fucking shocking. In my head, I'm like, don't you want to be a baby about this? Not her. Like, I'm a baby, right? Or are you supposed to spend another 2 hours pouting about it and like proving that your point is right? She just goes like, "Okay, I definitely want Thai tonight." And I'm telling you, dude, it's this weird feeling inside of me where I go, I'm lucky. This is a great situation that I'm with somebody who's like emotionally intelligent enough to recognize that she doesn't need to harp on this shit. I don't know. I might not be making any sense.
You make a fucking lot of sense.
But it's these small little moments in my life that I look at and I go, "Oh, I'll take that every day over the control, as the letting go. I'm falling through the love spear." No, I got like good credit now and shit. Like I make my fucking bills on time. I feel good.
You got a dog.
You got a dog. Come on, man.
You got a dog.
Yeah.
Fuck, I've always heard that if it's the explosion thing, of the love explosion, that's not healthy.
Yeah.
And you know what? Every relationship I've been in, it's been like that. But there's a reason why. It was the perception of that being love, which
yes.
it never really was. Looking back on it, it was just two broken ass people just trying to fill these fucking bullet holes in their body with more bullets.
You gotta write.
I just made that up right now.
That's poetry.
Fuck.
Two broken ass people trying to fill their bullet holes with more bullets. That's poetry. That's exactly right. That's either a lyric, a line in your set. It's something, dude.
Dude, that's a fucking slam poetry right there.
Two broken ass people.
Fuck. Yeah, because that's when I feel, damn, see, I want that. That's what I want. Because the few times I had those little moments in these relationships where they just like did something for me. They're like, "I know you like chicken enchiladas, so I made you chicken enchiladas after your show." And I'm like, that's it. That's all I need. I don't need a PS5. I don't need a, I don't need all the fucking, money in the world. Like with whatever the fuck. You don't need to give me things. It's just that right there. That's like everything.
Dude.
And I miss that moment.
And those are good moments.
Yeah, those are good moments.
Yeah. You'll have those moments. You don't have those moments again. You're doing the work to be a better fucking Mike for Mike that somebody else will get to enjoy the benefits of. Not being in the process of trying to fix you. They get to enjoy the benefits of somebody who was actually healing those fucking bullet wounds, right? Yeah. That's the person you want to be around. My fiance, she's doing that stuff, all those beautiful things I'm saying. I'm not always. I'm the one who's fucking falling constantly. So I'm trying my best. I'm still actively healing those wounds. and sometimes the stitches will break, and like she's got to see that, you know what I mean, where I'm not my best. But I can't speak for her, but you know, she's in. She sticks around, and it's fucking. I'm thankful for that.
She doesn't get grossed out when the stitches kind of pop back up, and there's a little bit of a reinfect. It gets infected because what is an open wound. She cleans it out. It's cool. Stitches back up, even, you know.
Or she'll
like
go.
That, you think?
Or she'll go. Ew, what is that? And I kind of explain to her. She'll be like, "Oh, I've seen those in movies. I haven't really seen one in real life, but okay." You know, I know we all have our stuff.
Yeah.
But for the most, you know, she had a nice upbringing and a nice childhood, and she's smart and successful and been wonderful for herself. Thank goodness she didn't have to get shot as many times as we did. So she doesn't always know how to tend the wound. But sometimes I think she's like, I think this is, we're going to keep with this fucking metaphor or analogy. I never know. Here's what she's doing. She's like, oh, is that shit pussy and bleeding? I have gauze, I have antiseptic, and a fucking Q-tip. I'm going to walk away now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She doesn't try, let me get in there and try to fix it. She's like, here's a couple of tools I have that you might be able to use, but that's kind of your thing. And part of me wants to be like, no, you fix it. I'm a baby. It hurts. You come fix it. But that because I want to do that to her. Or that's the way I used to be, right? Yeah. Let me. But no, those boundaries are there. And it's like, she's like, you take care of it. Well, I'd rather you take care of it. Yeah, I know what you want, but you're a fucking baby. That's true. All right. Guess I gotta do my reading, go for that walk, self-examine. Ah, fuck, I guess I can. Ouch. And then, right, an hour later, hey, I just want to say thanks for letting me use the gauze. I feel better. I gotta have Thai tonight. Okay, let's have Thai, right?
Yeah.
Woo. That's a nice moment. That's a nice time. Damn. Where I didn't know that you could live a life or your tragedies didn't mean that your life was going to end every fucking time. I was always like, this is it. This is where we all die. And she's always, you know, she's like, oh, this thing's annoying. I'm like, are we going to die? She's like, what's up? Oh, no, it's just annoying. Oh, yeah, it's just annoying. What? Is this what a healthy person looks like?
That's what I'm saying. Dude, everything you say, that's me to the max.
Yeah.
That's exactly who I am. And I do want to get babied just a little bit. But in a way where they're like, no, you can walk on your own.
Of course.
You can walk on your own. Because, like, you know, there's a thing. We just want to feel, you know, we didn't get that, you know, when we're growing up and shit. But that's beautiful. But
like you said with the chicken enchilada, you know, it's me doing my little fucking shit on my computer or whatever, and then all of a sudden she makes these great protein shakes that I just love. All of a sudden, think. And then she's like, walks away. She's calling her mom on the phone. I'm like,
yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And it's your chicken enchilada. It's like, yeah. Oh, that's it. That's it.
I'm gonna marry her.
That's it.
That's what you thought. I'm gonna marry her.
And I'm going to.
What was the moment where it was like I'm going to. Because I mean, of course, obviously you would think about it for a while, but then it's like was there like a point where, okay, I have to marry her? No,
I think, Mike, I think it's accumulation of everything we just said. Mm-hmm. Because also I'm kind of afraid of my own thoughts sometimes. Like if I think like I gotta marry her today, I'd be like, why? What's up? Like let's talk about that for a second. Do you know what I mean? Like,
because it's like a need. I have
like
to.
I question my own impulses, my own desires, right? Like. Because sometimes I feel like my picker's broken, you know, like I'm like, so it's just accumulation of things. Do you know more what it is, dude? I think is I look at her and I go, I want to be 65 with her. I want to be 73 with her. As not romantic as that sounds, that's it for me when I look at her. She's like, she's a trooper. She doesn't complain a lot. That sounds like demeaning. I just mean like she's like always ready to like take on the challenge. We work out together. We like these same things. And I just think like, I want to get an RV with her and be old with her.
Damn, that's romantic as fuck.
Really, dude?
She's going to cry. She's like, Chris. Or she's going to be like, you want to get tight?
Yeah, right. Exactly. She's like, why are you talking so much like that? Yeah. You know, dude, and I fucking, last thing I'll say about that relationship and my relationship and just everything is like, we fucking wake up every morning and I just look over and I'm like, I feel like I said this years ago on a podcast, years ago, but I haven't even thought of it till right now. But I'll be honest. There's this moment where you kind of look over it, when it's just kind of like your own thoughts. You just wake up. You get to be as real as you want. You just stare at this person and be like, yes or no? Is this my person? Just really staring at, she's just sleeping. You know? Like, no one's going to know my answer. I'm asking myself this. She's just sleeping, just staring at her. And every day it's like, yeah, it's her. Okay. Wash my face. She doesn't know I'm doing this. Sorry, babe. But it's like, it's kind of just checking in with the world. I'm like, and it feels good. You go, all right, yeah, let's go. As opposed to like a red flag or like, oh, I don't know, or I don't like her hair. Or, you know what I mean? Like, no, it's just like, no, like everything feels good.
That's funny. Wow.
Yeah. So, also, ups and downs, right, dude?
But that's like everything, though, right? There's always ups and downs.
Yeah, I guess I just don't want to paint a picture to anybody who's listening that like, I'm like, well, I got sober, I figured it out, I found a woman, I'm the best, right? I hope I've made it clear that I'm very fucking human and very fucking flawed. But dude, that bullet hole thing is good. Damn. And so I'm healing them.
Fuck. So being in that relationship has helped heal even more at the same time?
I think so. I think so. I get to have an example of what a person who isn't as broken as me looks like, and that's helpful. She doesn't shove it in my face just by the way, just her actions, the way she moves about the world, the day-to-day, her space. It's cool. She has a confidence to her at a fucking grocery store or something that I don't have, and I'm like, oh, I like that.
Okay, let's talk about this. Confidence at a grocery store.
So, yeah, I mean, I was somebody that was so anxiety-ridden that it would be hard for me as an adult to pick up like an avocado in a grocery store and check to see if it was ripe. Because that would give people the impression that a couple things. One, people would be thinking, what is he doing? He doesn't know how to fucking check an avocado. Or does he not know what he's doing? Like, does he not know that one is obviously ripe or obviously not ripe? That's a weird small example, but that's the type of voices that would be in my head as I moved about my day. Post office, mall, grocery store. Everyone's looking at me. Everyone knows I'm doing everything wrong. I'm a fucking idiot. But I look at someone like her. She picks up 3 avocados, throws them back, takes a fucking grape and eats it. I don't know if she does that, but you know what I mean? Like, just like by the confidence, I mean, she's not held down by every stranger's thoughts. Because for some reason, I think I can read all their minds. And they're all looking at me going, what are you doing here? You're a bad kid. You're an idiot.
Dude, that's... I love that you said that because for me, I used to be so afraid of pumping my own gas. Of course, publicly. What am I going to pump? Yeah. Publicly, privately. I would be fucking like sweating, full of anxiety, you know, putting in the credit card, all that, and then the numbers and shit. And then I'm just thinking that the people on the intersection are watching me because I look stupid, like I don't know how to pump gas. Exactly. And then when I walk in to use cash inside, I'm like, this guy knows I'm a fucking loser.
Exactly.
Every single time. So I only went to one gas station for like, I think a few years. Only one. Like I will keep going back to that one because I got a little bit more comfortable with that guy.
Yes.
But I still felt like this guy probably learned to accept me, but he still thinks I'm a fucking loser.
Yeah. He doesn't. Yeah. Exactly. You said that perfectly.
Yeah.
I think I would have that too. He doesn't think I'm okay. He just learned to accept that I'm a loser. That's what I'm talking about, dude. That type of anxiety. So that's the grocery store confidence I'm talking about. I mean, what you just said about the gas station is like the way I spent the majority of my life, dude. And so then I would learn how to fake the funk. Then the ego comes out. And that's why today, at my age, my experiences, when I see homeboy acting up at a comedy club or whatever, I'm like, this guy's just afraid to pump gas.
Damn.
You don't act up that way, dude, if you're not afraid to pump gas.
So fucking true.
So, I see, dude. This guy's sad. He doesn't know how to fucking get an avocado. I empathize. Because that's the way I acted when I was feeling that way. I don't feel that way today. So I don't need to act up. I don't need to fucking. I don't need to act up.
Yeah, because the opposite way to cover that is like, man, these avocados aren't even that good. Psh, throw it away.
That's right. Oh yeah.
But when you walk away, when you threw it, as soon as it left your fingertips, but it was still touching the last fingertip.
Yep.
You're thinking, I actually want this avocado, but you have to commit because you told the world, I don't need this fucking avocado, and I'm not gonna look like a bitch.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Well, because I thought that confidence was something you put on. I thought just be confident meant like show them you don't care. Actively be aggressive in these scenarios.
Yeah.
Throw that avocado back. So like for instance, in the industry, I audition a bunch, right? I don't book as much as I would like to, obviously. But there was this point where someone's like, well, if you care, then they'll smell you're desperate. And so you go, oh, well, I do care. And I am desperate. Oh, okay. Okay. I'll look like I'm not desperate. So then you're that guy.
Yeah.
What's up? No, I don't know what's up going on. Hey, my name is Chris Alvarado. Blah 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 blah. Cool. Anyway, I guess I'm just a fucking hot shot later, dude. Fuck you. Get in the car, like.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. It's the same avocado thing. The guy that's exuding the actual confidence is the guy who's happy to see you. He's got love in his heart. It's big enough for everybody. Like you said earlier, wants you to win. Holy shit. Holy shit. What
He'll tell you, yo, I actually am scared of this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's confidence.
Yeah, that's confidence, dude. Hey, man, let me ask you a question. On the second line, how do you pronounce that word? Dude, you ask somebody that in an audition room, you're letting me know you've got confidence. Everyone else is like, Pedro. I'm just going to pick one of them. Fuck it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or you walk into the room, they go, do you have any questions? No. Yeah, you do, bitch. You got like 5 questions. You know what I mean?
You're too afraid.
Too afraid because I don't let them know I don't know. But the confident person's like, yeah, actually, I do have a question. What does this mean? Or what's this word? Cool. Thank you for giving me tools to help me succeed. And me, all day long, cutting off my nose to spite my face. I'll fucking show them. Watch how terribly I fail and go down in these fucking flames. Oh, they're going to fucking love it, dude. Do I have any questions? Yeah, I have a question. When do I start? Anyway. And then what? I never book, dog. You know what I mean? It's like, get the fuck out of here. They can smell it.
They can smell the bullshit. You know what I loved about talking to you today is I knew there was something about you that made me like resonate towards you, but we have a lot in common. Like I've not talked to anybody. I told people about the gas pumping thing, but people will be like, really? You're the first person who's like,
actively have done that.
The avocado thing, I was like, I fucking loved hearing that. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. I picked up with that we were similar a long time ago.
Yeah.
I really did. I felt like I saw a lot of myself in you, honestly. It's funny to say. I mean, 2 different experiences, but I don't know. Someone like I don't know. I just did. That's why it's nice for me to see you fucking like, I don't know, making these steps towards like being who it is you need and want to be. That makes me so fucking happy. Thanks. Like the word rooting, I guess I've already said like 5 times. Rooting for you is like actively wanting you to do well. Makes me feel good. So when I see your followers rise or a video hits, it makes me fucking feel good, dude. So I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
That's the one thing. I am very proud of you.
Thanks.
Very proud of you, dude. Yeah.
Damn, dude.
I mean it.
Damn.
I mean it.
That means a lot.
I mean, I don't know who I am to say that, but I am. So I just remember you just fucking taking classes to like, finding your voice, to fucking landing in your voice, to not sharing the voice.
Yeah, just being lost during those times, but still just like, I fucking, like this. And it feels like it's been such a long time, but on the grand scheme of things, it hasn't been that long.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Do you think you feel better today than you have in a long time or ever?
Dude. Yeah. It's crazy. The fact that I can sit on the couch and if I'm watching Netflix and not fucking destroy myself mentally Dude, I mean, for majority of my life, anytime I do anything that I remotely enjoyed, like for instance the Netflix thing just 3 years ago, I'd be like, you fucking loser, you piece of shit. You really watching this? What the fuck are you? Your dad died? You make no money? Go kill yourself.
Wow.
I couldn't watch a show without those thoughts.
Wow.
Even if I worked 12 hours in that
Yeah.
day, I'd still be like, you fucking piece of shit. Now I don't talk to myself like that anymore.
I bet a lot of people still do, huh?
And that's the and you know, that's the stuff that makes us act out and do crazy shit.
Of course.
You know?
Of course. You know, I've heard you talk about this before, and you've had Asian guests on and stuff. I'm always curious, how much of that self-hatred and the way you talk to yourself, how much of it is there a cultural connection? What is that, right? So we've all now know the terms, and your Korean friends, whatever, they're gonna like roll their eyes or hate me, but like, you know what I mean, we've all heard the terms now, like the K-Rage stuff, or like I follow the artist David Cho, right? Like
he's great.
Dude, he's
So fucking
great.
Yeah.
Talk about somebody, not that we're gonna talk about, but so I'm wondering if there's a connection, but somebody who's like cracking themselves wide open to fucking dig out all the fucking filth that he's been telling himself, right? I hear that in you. I feel some of that in myself. Is there a cultural connection there?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a huge connection because there's a lot of self-loathing. We're taught that you're never good enough. So for me, I'd get punished for not doing good enough, even when I do good, and I get punished when I did bad. So no matter what, I'm gonna get punished.
Yeah.
So that type of PTSD, that type of catastrophic thinking that's what made me always be on edge, just 24/7, and that would, you know, even if there was something to celebrate or just to pat myself in the back, I wouldn't allow myself to do that because I was trained that no matter what I do, I'm a fucking loser.
It's crazy because I've heard this before. I've heard this with other, specifically, I'm thinking of like people I've heard on podcasts that were like Korean would have this. And I'm not smart enough to know all the different. I don't know everyone's experience, but isn't it interesting too the way you're perceived by the outside world, where very like, oh, the timid or hard workers or whatever, and little do we know that so many people are suffering with this idea, with these like cultural ideas that you're beating yourself up so fucking bad, calling yourself a piece of shit. Yeah, if I walk by you in the grocery store, I'm like, oh, like, you know, oh, they must have it all together or whatever. Like, it's just such a weird contrast. Where like some cultures or races we like can associate with like maybe having a hard time or a bad time. I don't think that's the connection we make immediately with Koreans or Korean Americans or Asians in general. To be like, oh, it doesn't feel like that.
No.
So that's even like a double fucking fuck you. You know what I mean? So not only do you have to fucking deal with your own shit, I know I'm saying every smarter guest has ever said on here, so I apologize if I'm rehashing this.
No, you're not. You're
But
not rehashing it.
It's eye-opening to me now. So not only are you dealing with your own personal and cultural shit, be it, you know, for better or worse, if parents have good intentions or not all in here, then there's also an entire other way you're viewed by society, which makes it seem like everything should be fine. You're fine.
Yeah. Even as, oh, you're Asian. Out of the minorities, you guys have it the easiest. It's like, no, we fucking don't. The immigrants, the things my parents had to go through, the racism, it's the way things are portrayed through the media, through Hollywood, all that. They don't fucking know. Model, you're the model minority. What the fuck are you guys fucking talking about? You know, so that is, we're being gaslit by our parents and society. So that's why for me to trust my own gut instinct now, I had to intentionally train myself to trust myself. Because I always doubted. I'm like, to the point where even if it's clear that maybe this guy's hitting on my girlfriend, I'm like, no, he's not. No. Because it's lack of self-worth, lack of trust in yourself for every fucking thing. But now, that's what I'm grateful to stand-up is. It taught me, like, no, I know what you're fucking doing. I call it out. I address what's going on.
Yeah. My
gut instinct is still is. That's also why I'm so happy, because I trust myself. I allow myself to trust myself.
How nice is that, dude?
It's fucking nice. It's so freeing.
Do you think, though, that we are now opening up these conversations? Do you think the shit's being brought to the light? Do you think there's going to be internal healing culturally, or do you think generationally, 2 or 3 steps removed from people who are new to this country? You know what I mean? Like the fact that like I know the term K-rage, for instance.
Yeah.
I might not have known that a handful of years ago. People like artists like David Cho and stuff, right? Kind of like showing me this life and stuff. Do you see, not a new beginning, that sounds so, but like, are we on the forefront of healing and exposing some of that shit?
I truly believe so, because now that there's more, with the advent of social media and more Americanized Asians who are there's not just immigrant and then a kid was born in America. There's the Asian kid born in America who now is going to have kids.
Yeah.
And there's David Cho.
Yeah.
Who's speaking out about it. Do you know the biggest reason why I looked into my childhood trauma, which led me to allowing myself to pursue my dreams, is because I listened to a podcast with David Cho and David Chang. David Chang is the cook and all that.
The restaurateur,
so they were talking about childhood trauma, and then I'm like, there's Korean people that look like me culturally, same culture, parents are immigrants, that are in their 40s, that are living the quote unquote dream, and they still struggle with that.
Yep.
That made me think maybe I have something.
Yep.
I didn't think I did.
Yeah.
Until those two men.
Yep.
So that podcast saved my fucking life.
Dude, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
That's why, like, and then having guys like you who are so transparent to speak out on it, that's what separates the whole like Asian this dude. No, it's a human thing, but also a man thing.
Yeah, dude.
You add another layer of that. Like, men are struggling.
Yeah.
We don't feel like we can talk like that.
Yeah.
I
feel like I've always felt like I can.
Like you could or you couldn't.
Could.
Why?
How
I
don't know. I've always been like an oversharer.
Oh,
You know what I mean? So a lot of my life has been like telling people immediately, I'm an addict. I'm alcoholic, or you know what I mean? Like in an elevator, like went to level 2. I'm like 2. Give me 2 beers, and I'm crying on the floor. Sorry. I don't know why I said that to you. Like I've always talked about it.
You think it's like a filtering out mechanism? Like you either accept me for who I am or you don't. So I'm going to do a preemptive strike and let you know exactly who I am.
Yeah. It's that preemptive thing. Like you said earlier too, about like your stand up or the Eminem thing.
Yeah.
It's like, because we're in an elevator, I kind of assume that I'm full of anxiety and I'm a piece of shit. Let me tell you that I am first so we can laugh about it and then move on. And the stranger's like, excuse me? Ding. And they leave. You know what I mean?
Never see each other again.
That's right. So my point is, I have always talked about the way I felt. For better or worse though, because there is a problem with being an oversharer. That is also an issue. It's not, I used to think like, I'm just open and free. It's like, no, that's also fucking not everyone else's problem. They don't need to hear your fucking, all your darkness at the fucking Chipotle line. It just doesn't need to happen. You know what I mean? So anyway, for better or worse, I've always spoken up. Though as I get older, I learned I don't need to interject anymore. I don't need to tell them. I don't need to like make fun of myself before they do or anything. They don't anyway. So I can feel it. I'll be like, oh, now would be a good time to say this. And I just don't. Oh, that was okay.
That probably ties in with the growth of yourself.
I think so.
Self-acceptance, right?
I think so. Yeah, not having to run around and scream it. Yeah. But just back to the cultural thing, it has been really eye-opening for me. And I had Korean friends, and I can think of 2 in particular in my life that fit your exact mold. The same exact mold. And like, it was always shocking to me because like, I thought their parents were like great and I thought they were so cool, and they can never see themselves as being anything other than like fucking less than constantly. And that would manifest itself in crazy ways. Dude. One of them was a fucking fighter, dog. You know what I mean? Fighter. And like, let's go. I'm from Downey, we go down to Long Beach, fucking have a few and scrap, and we know homeboy's gonna get into it. And for a second, it's kind of cool because we're like young and drunk and want to scrap. But like when you look back, you're like, poor fucking guy. Yeah. He was fighting himself out there. He was fighting everything he had coming at him. And I don't want to speak for him. That seems that's not my place. But there seems to, the more I'm understanding about this stuff culturally, the more it's starting to kind of make sense to me.
No, you're right. He was fighting that.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I had anger issues too, it was stemmed from like me feeling like I had to be the tough guy because everybody looks at Asian men as pussies.
Yeah.
And then me also, trying to get back at my dad. Like everybody's my dad.
Yeah.
In the world, everybody. You, even that girl over there who gave me like kind of like a weird look. I'm like, you're my dad.
Yeah.
You fucking hate me. So I'm 100% certain that is.
I just want to say though, for the record, where I'm from, we never looked at Asians as pussies. We were near like Cerritos, like Hawaiian Gardens, Linwood, Southgate. Where I'm from, the Asian guys got down, dude.
Yeah. Because you were actually around them, so you saw, right?
They got down, dude. So yeah. Oh fuck, pulling up at some like fucking car show type thing, like, oh fuck, dude, keep it cool.
Yeah, hey, what's up, fool? Hey, what's going on, man? It's like I thought you're supposed to talk like,
Hey guys, how are you?
they think that. I have a thing where I'm trying to work on this bit where the reason why I don't do good on online dating is because like people, like girls, they know Asians based off of whatever stereotype and all that. So when they see my photo, all they hear is hi. They don't hear this. They don't feel this.
Yeah.
So and I know, and I'm 100% sure that is a lot of it. Plus, I don't know how to take the photos, but a lot of it is that.
I think you're right. I think you're right. But hopefully, like we said, hopefully things are fucking changing. You're changing. You've changed and are changing, but you fucking changed. That's fucking great. And you're like becoming more and more in the public eye and these videos doing. So the more you're being open and honest and vulnerable and the masses get to see it, it gets to change the fucking narrative. You know what I mean? That's fucking great. With all the shit I had to go through, a culture thing wasn't really a big part of my life. Well, from the outside, I look white. But, my dad is a small brown man from Honduras, Central America. That's a whole different topic. But so I didn't have to deal with that extra shit that you did,
But you also have an understanding because your dad was that. You
might be true.
See, that's why you have because you could have easily gone, look, if your dad wasn't like that, you could have been like I'm just, even though, you're not like 100% white guy, you could have just been like, you know what? Thank God I'm white. I don't need to know. But that extra cultural element, and then, that's what makes you so much even more understanding. Plus you grew up with other people, but I think that a huge part of it.
I think you're right, actually. Yeah. I never really considered that. I think that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. A lot of we were talking earlier before we started recording that how close my dad and I are. Yeah. He's like half of my whole fucking body. He's like in my soul. So it's like, wow. Of course I recognize like a cultural situation, for lack of a better term, in others. Like I do see that, even though I know I'm perceived this way at the bank. I'm just a white guy when I walk in, but like, yeah, that is a big part of me. So I'm kind of aware of it. But it's weird though. I'm aware of it. I'm sensitive to it. But I'm not like knowledgeable enough. Even like talking to you about even saying the word Korean feels like scary for me to say.
What? Why?
Well, I mean, like I don't want to be like, not specifically Korean, but like I don't want to be insensitive to the specific struggles of a specific, race or culture. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it, but everything you were saying was spot on, and it's coming from a place of what you've been observing with your friends and all that. So it's not like
Yeah, and thank you for saying that, because obviously like intention and what you mean by something is like is important, and when that's taken out of the conversation, that's fucked. But yeah. Culture, race, loving yourself, being funny, not being funny, healing bullet wounds. There's a lot, dude. There's
a lot, and I wish I brought this up earlier, because I know you have to go. But maybe we could do it at like some other future time. I wanted to know so much why you love your dad so much, and it's only because I didn't have that, so that's why I was like, shit, I should have asked you that earlier.
Yeah, well, how about we'll kind of wrap up with that, because this is interesting.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever asked myself why, but you're right. I have a very close connection with my dad, maybe too close, I'll say, for the record. In that, like, he's always like, I'm fine. You don't need to think about me every second of the day. You don't need to take care of me. I'm fine. But I'm always like, Dad. To
this day?
Yeah, to this day.
Wow.
I mean, literally, when we call to check in, he'll be like, okay, yeah, have a good night. Listen, I'm good. So just enjoy your night. I'm good. Okay, Dad. It's like really important to me that he's good. But it's funny because I think my dad made the same sacrifices that your dad made. I'm just guessing. So is your father from Korea?
Yeah.
So my father's from another country. Made the sacrifice to come here, which means leaving family and friends, right, to this country. So I was always very appreciative and very aware that he is living a life that isn't necessarily better for him so that I could have a better life. I don't know what your dad or what he did for a living, but my dad was a laborer. He drove a truck his whole life. That's like backbreaking work. So like I was very aware that every day he woke up and went to work, it was for Chris. So I could have the new shoes, so I could hang out with the white kids in my city, fit in, get the new car. Everything I ever wanted, I got, even though we were fucking poor, dude.
Wow.
One of the only kids in my friend group that lived in an apartment. Everyone else had like nice houses and shit. I lived in a one-bedroom apartment with my dad. We used to live in a garage together. So we're just like bonded this way where I never took him for granted. I knew everything he did was for me. And I think like, how can you not respect that? Now, as an adult, I see some issues, some boundary issues where there should be a separation between father and child, where lessons should be taught. But instead we like raised each other. You know, he was new to this country and young when he had me. So, you know, we like raised each other, which forms a bond, but maybe that's too much in a way. Do you know what I mean? Like there needs to be discipline and like lessons learned, but he was learning lessons at the same time I was in a new land. And so I don't know, man. Did you ever feel like your father sacrificed for you?
No. Because he kept fucking beating me down and shit. So I viewed him as the enemy. I used to pray that he would die. Yeah. Because especially whenever he'd hit my mom, I would just be like, I want you to fucking die. So there's a part of me that wanted love, but the other side of me was like, I fucking hate your guts. Wow. And the anger part surpassed that other side. So, yeah, it's...
I mean, my dad always told me I was like number one.
Oh, my dad didn't do that shit. So our dads were very on the opposite end of the spectrum. But the interesting thing is we still have very similar, parallel, if not almost exact, struggles with the insecurities, the avocado thing. Like, isn't that so interesting?
That is interesting.
Right? Because I could have easily went like, no, he would never, because he loves his dad so much. But right? That's really interesting.
I know. I wonder if you move mom onto the chessboard. I mean, my mom
that's what I was just thinking.
My mom is, you know, hi, Mom.
Hello.
You know, among other things, but, you know, career criminal, alcoholic addict, you know, a lot of stuff like that. So, you know, trying her best, dealing with her own sicknesses, but like, you know, when you're 12 years old, you don't know that she's like, you assume her leaving the house for a couple of days because she's, you know, on one you're not thinking of like, oh, she has like a chemical imbalance or like she's sick. You know, you're like, my mom's gone. Do you know what I mean?
And it's my fault.
So probably, I think that's where some of the self-worth. But I mean, my mom is also one of my biggest fans and like champions me. And we have a great relationship today. We really, really do.
That's good.
But I guess you can erase the trauma of some of those moments, right? When I'm a kid, when my house is becoming more of like a kind of like a drug denny type place for people to come and like party and like you're not feeling safe or secure. That's definitely got to resonate with you as you get older. What was your mom's situation?
My mom was extremely self-sacrificing, meaning my dad would just control the fuck out of her and she would just be like, okay. She wouldn't see her family. Always listen to him. He ruled with an iron fist. So, you know what's interesting? The reason why I still stayed so angry even after my dad died was because I realized this after like a couple years after he died. I realized, actually no, many years after he died, I realized I didn't want to let go of my anger because that was what made me feel connected to him. His rage outbursts meant that as long as I stay angry too and I can feel that, wow. I felt connected to him. And once I got rid of that, that was like me like saying goodbye, Dad. Wow. I realized that. Wow. Yeah. So then I thought of you with the alcoholism and all that stuff. That's a way, because my dad was there, but he wasn't there.
Yeah.
He was never at the holidays. He was never there, only to punish me. Your mom was never really there too at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So how did you feel connected? Maybe it's
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Kind of doing some of those same behaviors, same attitude. I think you're onto something there. And where, if you don't mind me asking, where are you today with your mom and your relationship?
This is the good thing about me moving back, because when I told you I wanted to off myself and all that, and I moved back home and I was like working on that shit, I was under the same roof as her, and I would try to avoid her all these times, and I went crazy, dude. Like I was like, why didn't you do anything when Dad was hitting me?
Yeah.
He locked the door. Where were you? Like I don't even remember you being there. Like where were you? She's like, he didn't do that. I don't remember that. I was like, what the fuck? It's like I felt like she was like erasing everything, and then she was like, she said this. She said, maybe you deserved it, and I snapped. I grabbed that. There's a knife somewhere there, a brown knife, because I told her, oh no, and then I also said like I was gonna hang myself, and she's like don't say weird things. So that mixed with maybe you deserved it. Then then I was like, oh, you don't believe I was gonna do it? So I grabbed the knife and I started swinging it towards my neck like an inch away. Like I'll fucking kill myself in front of you so you'll know. So I snapped, because everything came out at once after my dad died. It was crazy. So it went, and I was like I fucking screaming. I was like, yeah. Thank God it. So like, yeah, we had to hit that boom, crazy, just pop, everything coming out all at once, kind of like when you quit the alcohol, like everything finally came out, and then it was a long process, but after like a few, that didn't last too long though, that crazy psychoticness, but then it got to the point where like now we're good, because she can feel my calmness. I forgave him, so I forgave her fully. Like I don't resent her, and I see her as a human. And now there's that thing that you talk about with your fiance, of that kind of like under the same house of natural partnership. Like now I see her as like, no, I see things she's doing where like things are prepared, because I'm out all the time doing stand up. I'm busy. I'm doing shit, and then she'd be like, oh, there's dinner in the refrigerator. Yeah, and I'll eat this now. I would say out loud, thank you, Mom. I would say that. I wasn't able to say that before. Wow. Yeah, so that's why I'm glad at the age of 32 I was like that, because if that didn't happen, I would have kept escaping my past of my dad and everything by avoiding my mother. Sure. So if I didn't move back home, I would still be avoiding her to this day. And I was. This is gonna sound fucked up, but I would think on certain days before where I'm at now, I would think I just kind of wish she would just pass away, so I don't have to, so I can go through the pain and just get over it, so I don't have to try to work on it. You know what I mean?
I get it, of course.
Yeah. So it was a blessing, all these things that happened, and yeah.
And how old are you? You just said 32?
I just turned 32. Yeah.
I'm going to turn 42 next month. It's really, I'm fine with my timeline. I'm fine with where I am. Everything, whatever's for a reason. But it makes me happy to know that you're learning these lessons earlier than I did. Like I like that for you. You get to just like, I mean, you're always going to be learning and growing, but like I just like the idea of like, yeah, dude, I'm 10 years older than you, dog. You're learning the lessons way before me. My mom used to say that to me too. She used to go, I love that you're learning these lessons before I like, because she learned them so much later. And I love that about my mom, that she's genuinely happy that I'm learning lessons that took her a long time to learn. I feel the same way about you, where it's like, dude, 32? That's nothing. That's nothing. Continue to like grow, find relationships. You have all this time now to like, I don't know, actively fucking inject your, that sounds bad, inject your love. They have to consent. But just to like actively fucking go off into this world and do good and be better and be funny and successful and everything in between. Because you're not learning this on your fucking deathbed at 72, dog. You're 32. Baby boy. I'm very happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me here.
Dude, I'm glad thank you for, making the drive here and being on here. But yeah, I know I gotta go. So we'll get you out of here. So would you like to, plug in your social medias, anything you got going on, all that?
Sure. I mean, at Chris Alvarado on Instagram. Like I said, I teach online and now coming up in person, chris-alvarado.com. You can find information about my shows, the classes I teach. That's that. But more importantly, dude, I love you.
I love you. Guys, this has been another episode of the Setbreaker Podcast. And until then, I will see you on the next episode. Peace.